Welcome to another ASVAB Speed video. In this compilation, we have 10 questions about arithmetic reasoning explained in 12 minutes. Remember, every new question you should first pause and solve on your own. Let's begin. Arithmetic reasoning. A man owns 50 shares of stock worth $30 each. The corporation declared a dividend of 6% payable in stock. How many shares did he then own? Remember to pause, solve on your own, and put answers in the comments. Let's begin. Let's look at what's important. 50 shares, $30 each, dividend, which means increase in value of 6%, and we have to answer the question of how many shares did he then own. Let's start by looking at the answers. If I know I start with 50 shares and I have an increase in value, right away, let's knock out that 47. All right, first math part, 50 times 30. Is that too big of a number for you? I like to take away the zeros and then add them back. So you could think of 5 times 3 and add back the zeros. 5 times 3 is 15, so 50 times 30 is 1,500. We now have a total value of 50 shares at $30 each. So let's figure out 6%. 6% of 1,500 might be difficult for you. What I like to do is find 1%. 1% is easy. You just move over 2 decimal points. So 1% of 1,500 equals 15. And to get 6%, we just multiply it by 6. And you could think of this as 10 times 6 plus 5 times 6. So 60 plus 30 equals 90. 6% of $1,500 is $90. So we now have the new current value of 1,500 plus 90, $1,590. And since shares are $30 each, let's do 90 divided by 30 equals 3. Man can buy 3 shares. 50 original shares plus 3 new shares equals 53. And if we look up at the answer key, B, 53 shares. Thank you for watching. Arithmetic reasoning. If a load of snow contains 3 tons, it will weigh how many pounds? Remember to pause, solve on your own, put answer in the comments. Let's begin. So what's important? 3 tons, but we're asking how many pounds? Let's first remember, what does 1 ton weigh? And this is something you'll need to memorize. 1 ton equals 2,000 pounds. And how many tons do we have? 3. So we just do 3 times 2, giving us 6, and then add the zeros back on. So 3 times 2,000 equals 6,000. 3 tons equals 6,000 pounds. Answer is D, 6,000 pounds. Thank you for watching. Arithmetic reasoning. A pint of milk is what part of half a gallon? Remember to pause, solve on your own, and put answers in the comments. Let's begin. What's important? Pint and gallon. More specifically, half a gallon. Quick review. Gallon can equal 4 quarts, or 8 pints, or 16 cups, or 128 fluid ounces. You should memorize this for testing purposes. For today, we're doing pints versus gallon. We look up here, it's 8 pints. But for the question, we need half a gallon. So what do? Divide by 2. 4 pints equals half a gallon. And with the visual, if this complete circle equals half a gallon, each section equals 1 pint. I'm going to grab the highlighter, fill this in a little bit, and you can more easily see the visual of the fraction that 1 pint equals 1/4 of half a gallon. And if we look to our answer key, B, 1/4. Thanks for watching. Arithmetic reasoning. At the rate of 4 peaches for a $1/2, 20 peaches will cost what? Remember to pause, solve on your own, put answer in the comments. Let's begin. What's important? 4 peaches equals a $1/2, and we're trying to answer for 20 peaches. Let's do P for peaches. So what do we know? We know that 4 peaches equals 50 cents. What we don't know is what 20 peaches equals. But if you look at these numbers, I like that. Nice easy ratio. 20 divided by 4 equals 5. We're going to take that 5 and add it to both sides of the equation. 5 times 4 peaches equals 5 times 50 cents. 5 times 4 is 20 peaches. 5 times 5 is 25. Move the decimal for 250. We look at the answers. Letter D, 250. That's your answer. Thank you for watching. Arithmetic reasoning. How much total did the student save? 10 $1 bills, 9 half dollars, 8 quarters, 16 dimes, and 25 nickels. Remember to pause, solve on your own, put your answer in the comments. Let's begin. Now this is the type of question that you want to write out. 10 $1, 9 half dollars, 8 quarters, 16 dimes, 25 nickels. Let's do the math. 10 times 1 is 10. 9 times 5 is 45. Move the decimal for 450. 25 cents is just a quarter. 4 quarters to $1, 8 quarters to $2. 10 cents is easy. You just move the decimal on 160 for $1.60. Don't think of this as 25 nickels. Think of this as 5 quarters for $1.25. Now we just do some math. Far right column, 5 cents. Put down the 5. Next column, 5 and 6 is 11 and 2 is 13. So put down the 3, carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 2 is 7, 8, 9. Put down the 9. Finally, we have a 1. Bring it down. Your answer is 1935, letter D. Thank you for watching. Arithmetic reasoning. How many minutes are in one day? Remember to pause, solve on your own, put answer in the comments. Let's begin. So what's important? Minutes and day. This is the type of question that can trick you up if you're moving too quickly, because we're not talking about minutes per hour. We're not talking about hours per day. Minutes per day. So we have to build out a ratio. Minutes and day. And what's in the middle? Hours, right? So how many hours in one day? 24. That's easy enough. How many minutes per 1 hour? 60. Now let's do some math. 60 times 24. If that's difficult, let's save time and estimate. So take the tens place. 6 times 2 is 12. Add back the zeros. 60 times 20 is 1200. Let's look at our answers. The closest one is B, 1440. Thanks for watching. Arithmetic reasoning. Postage rate increased from 25 cents to 29 cents. The percentage of increase was most nearly. Remember to pause, solve on your own, and put answer in comments. Let's begin. So what's important? We need the difference between 25 and 29, and the answer is the percentage of increase. So let's find the difference. 29 minus 25 is 4, and with percentage problems, I like to guesstimate with a round number like 10%. 10% is easy because you just move the decimal point one place. 10% of 25 is 2.5, too low. So let's double it. 20% of 25 is 2.5 times 2 is 5. 5 is too high, but now we have parameters. The answer is greater than 10 and less than 20. And if we look at the answer bank, D, 20%, we know is wrong. So now we're just down to 3 options. Let's do the proper math. And you do that by finding the difference and then dividing by the starting number. So 25 goes into 4 0 times. Bring down a 0. 25 goes into 40 once. Remember the decimal. Put down the 25, and now it's subtraction. 40 minus 25 equals 15. 25 doesn't go into 15, so bring down another 0. 25 does go into 150 evenly 6 times, but that's not our answer. We have to turn it into a percentage. So you multiply by 100, gives you 16%. B, 16%. That's your answer. Thank you for watching. Arithmetic reasoning. On a scale drawing, a line a 1/4 inch long represents a length of 1 foot. On the same drawing, what length represents 4 feet? Remember, pause, solve on your own, put answer in the comments. Let's begin. What's important? 1/4 inch, 1 foot, 4 feet. What do we know? We know that 1/4 inch equals 1 foot. What we don't know is how many inches equals 4 feet. Well, 4 and 1 makes that simple. Let's rewrite that. 1 foot times what equals 4 feet? Well, that's easy. 1 foot times 4 equals 4 feet. So let's do the same with the inches. 1/4 inch times 4 equals what? Now a quick review on multiplying fractions. 4 as a whole number is the same as 4 over 1. So we take 1/4 times 4 over 1. And when you multiply fractions, you just go across. 1 times 4 equals 4. 4 times 1 equals 4. 4 over 4 is the same as 1. So here's your answer, A, 1 inch. Thank you for watching. Arithmetic reasoning. What is the greatest number of half-pint bottles that can be filled from a 10-gallon jug? Remember to pause, solve on your own, put answer in comments. Let's begin. So what's important? Half-pint and 10-gallon. Let's build a ratio. Half-pint to gallon. What can we put in the middle to help us? Pint. Let's quick review. 1 gallon equals how many pints? Do you remember? 8 pints. That's right. Now, knowing that, let's look at our answers, because 16 doesn't make sense and 17 doesn't make sense. But we need more than 1 gallon. We need 10 gallons. 1 times 10 is 10 gallons. 8 times 10 is 80 pints. And we have to get down to half pints. That means we're going to multiply by 2. 80 times 2 equals 160. Answer A, 160. Thanks for watching. Arithmetic reasoning. If a boat is towed at the rate of 4 miles per hour, how much time will it take to tow the boat 17 miles? Remember to pause, solve on your own, put answer in comments. Let's begin. So what's important? Rate, 4 miles per hour. Distance, 17 miles. We need to memorize this important formula. Distance equals rate times time. What are the givens? Distance, 17 miles. Rate, 4 miles per hour. Let's plug those into the formula. 17 equals 4 times time. Now we need to isolate time, so divide both sides by 4. Cross out the 4 on the right, and we're left with 17 over 4 times time. Now, 4 goes into 17 4 times, not 5. So let's look at the answer key. We can eliminate anything over 5 hours, and we're only left with 2 options. Now, here's our new problem. 17 divided by 4 equals time. We can simply turn this into a mixed number. 17 divided by 4 equals 4 1/4, which equals time. Now we're left with that quarter. Remember, a quarter equals 15 minutes. That means the answer is C, 4 hours, 15 minutes. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. At ASVAB Speed, you can watch question walkthroughs in all 9 subject areas, helping you pass the ASVAB faster.